Entering the tavern, I noticed Barzul with a large drained pitcher of beer, having a chat with the barkeep. They seem to be so into the conversation that it seems impolite to intervene. I can barely hear snippets of it over the cacophony. Economic sanctions would be impossible for the house to... Oh! They're speaking about politics. I quite like me some politics. You're not factoring in the support from the regional. Course, I know. Those idiots wouldn't budge if they need more independence from the central. I walk up to them, clearing my throat. They both turn towards me, surprised into silence. Two outgoing people like that are silenced because I walked up to them and cleared my throat. Some outgoing bastards there. Oh, Dougal, no need to apologize. I heard about the commotion from some of the other patrons. How you doing? Were you just having a political discussion after downing that beer pitcher? That's how it always works. That's how it always works. Don't let anyone tell you that otherwise. After 6 pints, I am a political anybody's. That doesn't even make me drunk. If you have to say that, probably does. I'm like a walking encyclopedia when it comes to politics. I used to study it, you know. I hate to interrupt, but could we get some alone time? There's something we have to discuss. Whoa, he might take that the wrong way. Whoa, don't go saying that. Sure, it was going nowhere anyway. Gotta get back to those dishes. Alright, down to business now. What was it you want to ask? Buzzle, I know you haven't been completely honest with me. What makes you say that? I was thinking about what else familiars can do, and something didn't seem right. According to a friend of mine, there are different types of alchemy, I wonder. Could one of those types allow you to control a familiar? Control a familiar? Well, it depends on the skill of the alchemist. I usually can't control him. What I meant to say was I can't control him at all. You can control him somehow. They're not very good lies in this game, are they? It's sort of telegraphed. So what if I can? You could use Yoria to spy on the townspeople, or more specifically, look for criminals. What? Tell me what you really want, Barzul. Are you working for Magistus? Working for Magistus? Why would you think that? If you want to prove otherwise, you'd better start talking. I didn't mean to mislead you like that. It's probably this absurd voice I have. I suppose I can tell you the truth, seeing as it's been a failure anyway. A failure? What's been a failure? When the competition started, I figured I could use it as an opportunity to return to my old job. You know, before I became a hunter. And what would that be? A vigilante who's been taking out criminals. That wasn't an imposter, it was me! I was the true Golden Knight! You were the Golden Knight? A pirate? That's rather odd. Well, vigilante, I guess it makes sense. You what? I was afraid this was the case. Yorio... See, I don't know why, but Barzul always shows up just as I'm at the beginning of my recording session. Never after. Yoria, my voice will hurt for the next 45 minutes. Yoria was my secret weapon back in the glory days. He was how I could track down members of the underworld. That means you were lying to me the whole time. I'll bet you have a few lies of your own, don't you, Dougal? Don't blame me. A secret identity should be kept hidden at all costs. If you just put some glasses on, I'm sure you'd have been fine. Glasses, superhero suit, none of us would have recognized you. Then why tell me now? Because I'll never be the Golden Knight again. Just my luck that someone was already doing my job. What do you mean, your job? Someone with the same power that I have has taken my place. Isn't that what you were talking about before? I thought those were the monster attacks. Listen, Dougal, a monster doesn't pick their targets. This was no monster. And it wasn't from the guard either. That makes them a vigilante. There were no other attacks but those. Don't be ridiculous. If Magistus sent us to kill someone's familiar, that would make us assassins. And why would he want to kill someone like that anyway? I'm more concerned about the possibility it could be someone's familiar. Never mind that. I should have realized that no one needed me anymore. I'm just no geezer like Torrin. As I said, there will always be a Golden Knight, even if it isn't me. Though, hopefully, they'll also have my dashing, terrible... chest hair, good looks. I mean, Jesus Christ, look at that. It literally looks like I'm holding Sonic's ginger brother down there. Christ. How did you become Golden Knight? It's not a very exciting story. I was just your average kid in a small village where I grew up. A lot like this one. But we're a frontier town, so the Empire didn't care much about us. It was before I learned... Oh, God. Is this going to be a monologue that I have to go through like this? Really? Christ. My poor voice. It was before I'd learned alchemy that a criminal gang moved into town. They took over the mayor's house and imposed their own twisted order. We couldn't do much about them since we barely had to defend ourselves against anything more than animals. I was a big lad for my age, not surprised, though it must have been 30-odd years ago. Being the oldest brother, I just tried to stay out of sight and tend to my family, but then what? My little sis, she worked at the tavern. The mayor's posse broke her leg for tripping and dropping their food. She's the most honest, kind-hearted person you could ever meet. This doesn't sound boring, this sounds fun now, but hang on, they broke her leg. I thought that was going slightly darker than that. Nobody in town could so much as question him. That's when I realized someone needed to do something, so I got my grandpa's old suit of armor. And punched them all in the face. Okay, hang on. Was it the mayor's posse? Or was it gorillas? What's that? Oh, Lord. I got the armor and slammed my fist into the face of every one of those damn thugs. And when morning came around, they found the new mayor with a sword straight through his spine. They run out of town the next day. Thought a brigade from the Empire had finally tracked them down. I did what had to be done, but I didn't like it. I nearly vomited in my armor, so hang on a second. What? What kind of overreaction is that? You scratch my back and I'll slit your throat, chop your head off and kill all of your friends? They broke your sister's leg. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I bet that was harsh. But then you killed the man? What? Oh, God, that's horrible. I don't really know what to say. Yes, don't worry, I'm lost for words as well. Remember this, Dougal. Society isn't vertical. A lot of criminals strung on themselves into power they don't deserve. There's only one way to deal with them, and that's to work outside the law. Does that mean becoming a vigilante? Well done. Well done, Dougal. You caught on quickly. No, there are others within the Empire who have that power, but I knew what I had to work alone. It was just my nature. I just didn't want to stop them. I needed to be feared. I needed to be the Golden Knight. After I became an alchemist, I decided that I outgrew my hometown. I traveled to Sanctum to get a job somewhere nice, and also to continue my work. Oh, I don't know even what this accent is at this point. It's just changed again. After a few years at Sanctum, I tracked down the leader of a notorious syndicate called the Dead Man's Hand. Was he dead, by any chance? That'd be wonderful. The Dead Man's Hand. And they just all work for a corpse. Every time the wind moves and his head moves slightly to the right, they assume they just have to kill whoever there's there. It'd be wonderful. He sent his lackeys out to stop me, but I sent them packing. And you hung around for enough to get the women's attention. Wonderful. The amount of crime in the third tier of Sanctum fell so much, thanks to my efforts, that some of the citizens wanted to proclaim me a hero of the Empire. Of course, that also attracted the attention of the Imperial Guard. They weren't nearly as on the up and up as they are now. Some of the section leaders were corrupt and in league with the syndicate. So you got beaten? You still look exactly the same as you did back then, although your neck is too big. That's definitely swollen. You need to see a doctor about that. As much as I hate to admit it, they forged a deal to share intelligence and hunt me down. That day I was unmasked and lost my honor. I was forced to flee Sanctum in disgrace and hide myself for fear that they would attack my friends. I couldn't even say goodbye. They're probably casing my restaurant in case I decided to return. I was forced to start a new life. I had a family back up north, but they never knew the truth. those responsible were most likely sent to the dungeons long ago. However, it was enough to make me lose my faith in justice, and I could never truly rekindle it. Back then I was young and naive. Maybe I got carried away. I thought that just because I saved my town I could help the capital too, but my justice had become just like those who once fought against. I don't think a hero could truly exist without becoming the villain. Oh Christ, don't go Spider-Man 3 on me. That's why I had to stop. I had no reason to fight anymore. It was stupid anyway. What's my Chaos 50? We're getting close to the end, guys, I feel. 1? Come on. You've got that right. As far as I can tell, you just need an excuse to stab people. Try being there and witnessing what I did. You'll change your tune pretty soon. To be fair, first time I've actually agreed with the evil decision. They broke your sister's leg, so you went and killed people. That's horrible. Don't worry, everyone needs to get their frustration out once in a while, but you said it yourself, the Golden Knight idea never worked. But I did stop crime for a short while, and that's what matters in the end. Even if crime came back after you left. How'd you know that? Maybe some others followed in my footsteps. Could be, but I'm doubtful. I wish I could go back, but I'm just getting too old for this. I can feel me and Uriah putting on the years. It was nearly 3 decades since we quit. Should have never lugged that armor over along the rest of my gear. I guess time conquers everything, huh? Except if we find the stone, that is, then I'll be able to get back to fighting crime as though nothing ever happened. Sorry, old man, but I still need that stone. You might know your own past, but I know what happened to mine. Need to know, even. How about we have a toast to the good old, huh? I turn around and notice Maya staring at me from behind. I didn't even hear her coming into the tavern. She must be quick on her feet. I knew you'd be in here. What unhealthy habits. Nobody forgot about your checkup. Checkup? I don't remember. Oh, that checkup. Why are you looking at me for? My memory isn't what it used to be. No matter, I'll need to remove your shirt for me. You mean here? I can't do that. Would you prefer to do it in private? I'd prefer not to do it at all, thank you very much. That's no way to speak to a doctor, Dougal. You have to defer to the professionals when your health is on the line. Yes, but I feel you're evil somehow. You have black hair, not white. It means you're not a scientist. That's what I've learned from anime, anyway. But I'm in perfectly good health. Are you, Dougal? There are more signs of ill health than just physical ones. For example, your mental health. What about my mental health? For a wanderer like you, the lonely atmosphere may take its toll, causing you to experience strange dreams, for instance. Dreams? Now, would you care for an examination, or are you just going to force yourself to bear more nightmares before you call on me for help? Sure, I'm up for it. Why don't we take it somewhere more private? I knew you would come around. Why don't you say we head over to my office in the residential district and talk there? I see you've got some business to take care of. Oh, fuck. I keep forgetting it. I see you got some business to take care of. Well, it's gotten some things off my chest speaking with you. I might not be going back to my old profession, but I'm still prepared for the monster. See you around, Brazil. God, oh, that was 13 minutes of pure pain, Smiters. Oh, lordy. Maya follows me as I walk around the shopping boulevard. As day slowly changes to the afternoon. The sun's either just coming up or just going down. I mean, whatever. After the rabble rousers earlier, it seems as though the shops have just returned to normal. However, something tells me that this checkup might not be a good idea. Why are you slowing down? Are you getting cold feet already? It's not like I'm going to perform an operation. No, I don't need any help, and I'm afraid it'll become with some kind of surcharge attached. Just for you, I'll do it free this time. Why the sudden change of heart? You know, I seem to recall the Empire posting a reward for a few 100,000 meta for someone's capture a few back. You and that man look awful alike. Strange, isn't it? What are you playing at? I was just remarking on a coincidence, nothing more. After all, you could never be him. If I remember correctly, the man was worth quite a bit to the Empire, and you're just a wanderer with basic alchemy skills. And let's say I was that man. What would you do then? Hypothetically speaking, I would ask him what it was like to be an Unbound. Such a thing would be beneficial to science if it was sufficiently researched, and as you might assume, I possess a few subjects of suitable potential. Dougal, I recommend you cease this line of questioning. It sounds like something I would do, and that's a bit concerning. I'll bet that man was suffering for every moment, every day. Do you really think you could understand? I can understand that you are in need of assistance for a completely unrelated issue. I believe I may be able to render my services. What's that sound? That's the evil religion sound when some sort of big figure turns on you. That's a bad sound. That's a Final Fantasy sound. Fine, let's say I did have nightmares. What then? I do not claim to be a psychologist, but if you tell me what you saw, I may be able to treat you. Well, there was this woman. She wasn't wearing much. Wow, did a game just realise that someone was rather scantily dressed? That's incredible. Why'd you not tell me about these things? Ooh, perhaps you have a simpler mind than anticipated. Hush. There was also this place. There were a lot of strange buildings. It looked ancient. Does that mean anything? I see. Then the connection. Is that important? Did I say the wrong thing? Wrong? No, just strange. Then again, the mind can create its own memories and dreams. Such a thing may not necessarily exist. Certainly felt real to me. Reality is a misnomer. The more one studies about the world, the more one realizes that our senses see nothing but what we need to see. What's that supposed to mean? Our senses can be shaped, melded. Take familiars, for example. Why do you think they return to their original appearance when summoned? I just figured they were always that way. That is not the case. To tame a familiar is to take the essence of the soul. The form is irrelevant. They return to that form because they have not been commanded otherwise. That's not what I read in the alchemy books. Yes, that's what they want you to think. Of course it isn't. Do you really think that the Empire would admit something like that? Something like... Wait, are you saying that... I think you already know what I'm implying, Dougal. The power of demons. And that of regular alchemists may be more similar than you believe. You're getting carried away. The damn hypocrites. Well, it's got to be the damn hypocrites, doesn't it? I can't just say you're getting carried away. She's probably speaking the truth.